Facebook secrets. Miss Chelsea Gardner. That sounds almost scandalous, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So that's what we're going to talk about here for the next, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, something like that. Facebook secrets by the infamous Chelsea Gardner. So, hey, just real quick, how'd you get involved with all this stuff? Like you're this master guru of Facebook ads in the mortgage industry. How'd that start?
Yeah, so I've been in the marketing industry and social media for 10 years. And then a couple years ago, I actually started working for the mortgage marketing animals and just loved learning about the mortgage industry and all of that. And when I went out and started my own business, I just stuck in the mortgage industry and really have dived into that for the past 2.5 years now.
I did not know that until you just said that. I mean, I knew, obviously, I knew you worked with us, but I didn't know that we were your first introduction to the mortgage world.
Yes,
I did
I came
not
from
know that.
healthcare.
I did not, because you caught on so fast. I just assumed you were in the banking industry before.
No.
And so if you're listening today, Chelsea was like, if you've ever seen my Facebook ads, uh, it's in a huge part of Chelsea because you ran that for us
Right.
for several years, and then you went independent. You said,
hmm
I think I want to help others other than just Carl, which obviously with our blessing, because you had a lot to share with a lot of people, and so that's what we're going to be talking about today is running Facebook ads and a bit of do's and don'ts. And so, Miss Gardner, want you? I don't know what do you want to talk about first here about secrets of Facebook ads in the mortgage world? How about
Yes.
how about
Why?
wine? Why
Why
why would I
Facebook ads?
why would I run Facebook ads and kind of like who do I run them to? Who do I not to? 'Cause I think I think there's an issue I want to get cover like right off the bat
hmm
that a lot of people when they think of like Facebook ads, they think of consumer direct
Right.
and have had historically incredibly low conversion rates of that. And so we're going to talk about the right way to do it and what we've seen give us great success. So why Facebook ads?
Yeah. So I have Facebook ads because you can actually target a custom audience first and foremost. So, kind of like what you just said with consumer to direct, you are uploading a list of exactly who you want to be in front of on Facebook.
So what does that mean? I can target like who do I want to target and like what does all that mean?
Yeah. So when you're able to upload custom audiences, you can target, you would pull a list of your past clients, your referral partners, your realtors, and be able to upload those directly into Facebook. So the ads that you're running aren't necessarily to the general public, they are directly to your past clients, your
So
realtor.
the only person that would see that ad would be if it's my past client or my past database or only would be those people I pre-approved in the past and for whatever reason they didn't end up buying or whatever or to the I could grab the top agents in my area, a couple hundred of them, upload them into Facebook, and start running ads to them. And only
Exactly.
those people see those ads.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
How is that? What's the advantage of doing that versus blasting off to the Facebook at large? Like, let's say if I say, "Hey, I'm gonna run Facebook ads," on a 10-mile circle around my office to people. What's the
Yeah.
pros and cons of doing that?
Yeah, so running them directly to your custom audience list, the reason that we want to do that versus that 10, 25-mile radius is because it's so much more cost effective and you're getting in front of exactly who you need to be. If you run ads to a generalized area, you're paying for ads to be seen by people who may never do business that aren't realtors. If you're trying to target realtors, you got to get really creative with your ad copy to make sure that you're not paying dollars for people who are never going to be able to use you or aren't your target audience. And so your custom audience list really gets you in front of those individuals with frequent visibility, being able to be seen frequently in front of them, and it's keeping you top of mind to exactly who you want to be in front of.
You know what I think it. You know what I think it does, and I don't know if this is a term that I've coined or if I heard it somewhere else, but I've thought it'll make you industry famous.
Yeah.
So like, I really don't care if the I don't know. This is going to sound rude and disrespectful. I don't mean it that way at all. But I don't care if I'm famous to the I don't know the I just went to the grocery store this morning, so I'm gonna pick on this wonderful cashier, right? So I don't care if I'm famous to the cashier at the grocery store, even though she might buy a house at someday, but I want it so when I walk into the real estate association, it's kind of, and this sounds kind of weird, but all heads turn and look at you
Right.
because everybody knows who you are,
I've seen you.
and
Yep.
yeah, I call it the Oprah effect.
Mm-hmm.
That you can kind of, I'm a huge fan of Oprah. That you can kind of become industry famous. The same thing with my past database. Like they see my ads while they're on the, I don't know, CNN news site on Facebook or Fox News or the Wall Street Journal page. They'll see my ads, pop up, and in their mind, I've always thought they think that I'm on the Wall Street Journal. It's like, nope, I'm just wherever you look.
Yep, yep. And
And so,
that's what I've also seen with like, clients and stuff is they'll be calling their realtors, they're doing their daily success plan, and they'll pick up the phone because they're like, "Oh, I actually know who this is." But no, they don't. They've just seen them everywhere and have been consistently in front of them to where they're like, "Oh, I'm going to answer this person's call now."
yeah,
So,
it's like having Ryan Seacrest show up on your caller ID, and you're going, wait, what?
wait, what?
Yeah. So I'm a
Yep.
Ryan fan too. So anyway, I'm showing my roots here. So are people on Facebook? I mean, like I know it's you know popularity. Is it still are people still on it? Should I be using other platforms as well? Like,
Yeah, so there's actually of the US population, this is one of my favorite statistics. 72% of the US population is on Facebook as
holy
of
cow.
2023. So, you know, that is a huge number.
That is a huge, I would have never have thought that many, 72%. Because we see all the thing about like TikTok probably is the newest. We've seen different over the last, I don't know, probably 20 years. We've seen different social media platforms, and TikTok seems to be all the rave. But how does Facebook or TikTok?
Yeah, so I have seen TikTok is phenomenal and a lot of people have really good success over there. However, a lot of people are on TikTok for fun. They're watching the fun videos, they're doing all the things over there with the entertainment. They're not necessarily converting over there. They're not necessarily, they're more so scrolling, watching fun videos. Facebook is more, okay, I see the ad, I click it. They know that Facebook's going to be more ad driven. And I see the conversions higher on Facebook than I do on TikTok.
So are you saying like TikTok would be like trying to buy advertising at the beer pong tournament that
Yeah, yeah. And
that there might be a
it's
lot
good
of
for
activity
some.
there, but it's not buyers.
Yeah, from my experience, that's what I've seen. And across our industry, some people do have really good success on TikTok, but for the most part, you're gonna have better success over on Facebook.
Interesting. So we talked about any other things about why I should use Facebook ads, like any other advantages to using it. So that's very interesting. 72%. I'm shocked by that number.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's like 56 or 57% of the world population is on Facebook,
That's
I want to
amazing.
say. Crazy, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm actually surprised it's not higher.
I'm shocked that it's that high, actually.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It's quite a lot. So if you were to upload a custom audience of 100, you can assume that 72 of that 100 would probably be on Facebook.
That's very interesting. So like when I'm running these ads, there's different I think one of the first things I think we have to decide is like what's my objective?
Right.
Like what's it? So we decided, hey, on who you're advertising to, past database, sphere of influence, referral partners, right?
Exactly.
Totally get that. So let's talk a little bit about my objectives of running an ad. Because actually in the platform, don't I actually like tell Facebook, here's what I'm looking for, here's the results I'm looking for? Talk about
Exactly,
that.
exactly. And one of the biggest misconceptions that I always come across when it comes to objectives When you ask someone, hey, what do you want out of your ad? People are going to go, well, I want people to go to my website. I want people to see my ad. I want people to click my ad. I want people to call me from my ad. And Facebook does not work that way. That would be 4 separate objectives. You have to narrow down one objective when you are looking at a Facebook ad. So Facebook buckets people into categories. So for example, if I'm someone who technically sees an ad and I'm always the one to like click the link and go to their landing page and read all the things, I'm going to be fed more ads that are what's called a traffic objective. But
Mm.
let's say you're someone who likes to go like Facebook pages. You're going to be fed more engagement style ads. So everyone are in these different buckets on Facebook. And we need to know what our objective is when we're running ads. Are we trying to get in front of as many people as possible in our custom audience list? That's going to be an awareness campaign, right? If we are trying to get people to go to our website and click on our link to go to that, that's going to be a traffic campaign, right? So we got to know what our objectives are before we even create our ad, so we know what outcome we're looking for.
So let's talk specifics about a loan officer. So I'm a loan officer
Yep.
and I'm running ads to the top 500 real estate agents here I'm in the Tampa Bay area,
Yep.
Tampa Bay, Clearwater, St. Petersburg. So I'm running ads to the Tampa Bay area I got a list of top real estate agents. I upload it into Facebook. I'm going to run ads to them. What's the objective? What would you say that ad objective is? Like, what do I choose for those?
Yeah. So my biggest suggestion when you're running to custom audiences is typically always going to be an awareness ad.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get in front of as many people as possible in that custom audience list as you can. So you want to be choosing a reach campaign or a video view. If you're doing, like, if you're someone who puts videos out on your ads, you want to be in the awareness objective primarily, especially with custom audiences. Um,
Yeah,
that's
because I've always looked at it. I mean, and if you, dear God, if you disagree with me, please let me know because I'd love to know if I'm doing it
I will
wrong.
absolutely.
Okay. So I've always thought of it like on running my Facebook ads, particularly to the real estate agents. I think the odds of getting somebody to see my ad and then drop everything they're doing, call me up, Carl, dear God, I need to send you all my referrals. While that would be nice, that's not really what I'm expecting out of this, right? Because I'll probably just be disappointed.
Exactly.
But if I'm running ads so that when I see them at the Realtors Association, or maybe I'm doing a pre-approval letter and they have the listing and they get my pre-approval letter, it'd be like getting, and again, I'm not saying this about me being grandiose or anything, but I want them to see my pre-approval letter like they just got a recommendation from Kevin O'Leary, from Shark Tank,
Yes.
figuratively speaking, of course, that it's really, or if I call them up for a coffee appointment, or I'm teaching at their office next week or something like that, that they really see me as somebody that they want to talk to and hang out with because I'm well known in my community by doing these Facebook ads. And
Exactly.
that's always been my primary objective on here, is to be and I'm using air quotes here again, like loan officer famous to the real estate agents. And I'm kind of or to create like our listeners, you want to create like a celebrity type of relationship ish
Mm-hmm.
to the real estate agent. Is that kind of, do you agree with that, or am I missing out?
100%. I 100% agree. The only time I would ever recommend using a different objective, like a lead objective, so like an instant form on Facebook or something like that, would be if you are hosting a webinar for your realtors and you want them to register, or if you're running an ad to your past clients for a mortgage review and you want them to sign up for it, right? That's truly the only time that I would recommend going outside of an awareness objective, because of the fact that we're already uploading a custom list that's, small, right? So 500, 1,000. we want to just be in front of as many of those people as possible. We want that brand recognition, that awareness. And so that's the objective of these. Like you said, it's not necessarily to get 100 calls from that one ad. Great if you get one, but that's not the true reason why we run Facebook ads.
All right, well, let me ask you this then. So if I am doing it to my past database for the mortgage reviews, what is that objective on Facebook? Is that traffic?
That would be leads.
Leads. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
So then you
interesting
can
stuff.
create an instant form and give their name, email, phone for you to contact them.
All right. All right. So I think we've talked about the targeting a little bit. We've talked about why Facebook. It's where everybody's at. It's where the party is,
For
right?
everyone.
And
Yep.
it's where the sober party is, right? It's not like people doing TikTok dances, which is, you know, entertaining. I'm not downside. I'm not down. Yeah, it's not the right platform, in my opinion, for
Right.
getting loans, like the beer pong tournament, kind of
Right.
thing. What do I say on these ads? Like,
Yeah.
what's my I'm getting ready to put an ad out saying what?
Right? Biggest question is what do I even talk about? And so that's where the teach, touch, tell, sell method that I know you really love, that's kind of where that would come into play.
So do those
So
four again.
teach, touch, tell, it's very mouthful, tell, sell.
So teach, tell, sell.
Yep. Yep.
So do I do an like talk to me about that a little bit. Like, are these individual ads for each one, or do I try to do more than to talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what I always recommend is kind of following it to where, okay, we're going to teach our audience. So you just uploaded a custom audience for your realtors. And the first ad we're going to run is a teach ad, right? So maybe something educational to them, something about your market statistics, something that is, just where maybe they don't know what's going on or that would be helpful for them in the industry. That's a teach ad. And we can run that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? We can run that for, just a couple of weeks. And then let's do a touch ad, something that touches the heart, makes you appear as a real person, right? So you're just like them, a personal story, something that you're proud of, or a very touching client story that you have, and run that for a couple of weeks. Where we want these people who are in our custom audience list to see who we are and they kind of grow on each other. Does that make sense? And then we tell them a story, maybe what sets us apart, tell them some client reviews or who we are, what we do. Those are your tells. And then we sell to them. Then we open the doors and we, hey, don't forget I'm here. Let's have our call to actions in that.
So the first three, the teach, touch, and tell, is just like, hey, I'm here with you. I'm a real person just like you.
Yep.
Letting you know a little bit in a cool way, letting you know a little bit about me and my family. Maybe even we just went on vacation or something like that. And then the fourth one, sell, is where we go, oh, by the way, I'm a loan officer.
Right.
This is how I can help you. And so like, don't try like I don't know, just blatantly like having a call to action. So on the first three, I may or may not have a call to action,
Mm-hmm.
but on the fourth one, the sell is where, hey, I'm a loan officer. Here's my phone number. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to work with your clients. I'd love to work, like insert in reason and giving them a reason why. And
Absolutely.
so this would be four different types of ads
Yes.
that I'd run in sequence kind of thing.
Yes, all still in the reach campaign, but in different scenarios. So these would all be like your ad copy and graphics. So you would do like a teach ad, and then you would run that. You would do a touch ad, you would run that. And you want to watch your insights, pay attention, see how they're performing. And you can always kind of like in the sell category, you can still put call to actions on the other three, but maybe not in a sell manner, right? So if you're teaching, let's say you're talking to realtors about AI classes, and then your sell, quote unquote, would be, hey, if you want to know how I'm using AI in my business, I'd love to chat with you and tell you more.
Got it.
That gets them to call you, that gets them to maybe have a conversation, or hey, do you have questions about how I'm using AI? Drop them in the comments. I would love to tell you how I use it. It's
So
not
this,
necessarily I'm a loan officer, call me for a loan. It's I want to help you tell me how I can, you know?
So the call to action on teach, touch, and tell might be, hey, contact me for more information, or I can show you how I do this, or to hear more about this, or I've got this free cheat sheet I'd be happy to give to you. Just contact me. So it's just kind of setting up phone calls and
Exactly.
coffee appointments or lunches or whatever, those types of things. So I like that. So all right, cool. Hey, any kind of best practices? Like, is there any kind of a like hey, here's three things you want to make sure you're doing this or anything like that?
Yeah. So a few of my top best practices, one is target your custom audiences, right?
Mhm.
As a loan officer, that's probably the best thing that you can do. Make sure that you always choose the housing category. So when you're setting up your ads, there'll be an option for a special ad category. You are the housing category all of the time, no
Yeah,
exception. And start with just $5 a day. Facebook ads are very reasonable when it comes to pricing. Start with $5 a day and watch your analytics and see how they're doing, and then determine if you need to go up or down.
very cool. So, Chelsea, for our members, the Mortgage Marketing Animal members and Freedom Club, for you guys, there's Chelsea's been kind enough to put a soup to nuts complete Facebook ad course. And so for our members, I directed there. And if you're not a member, I was going to knock on the mic and do a "Hello McFly" thing, but would love to see the membership, of course. Right? That's my sell. Right? That's my sell.
Yep.
And because we've been teaching, we haven't touched. We told a little bit. Hey, any success stories like somebody using this? You go. I certainly would attribute a large part of my success, for sure, has been the Facebook ads have been really, really, really good for me.
Yeah.
But do you, any success stories?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have most all the time when I talk to my clients, they're like, people are just my realtors when I call them, they're like, I see you everywhere. And a lot
Yeah.
of them, they're like, awesome. Like, cause I just take it over and run with it. And they're like, fantastic. I see you everywhere. They pick up the phone because they see them everywhere. So yeah, I have that all the time that happens. And I think that's just fantastic. Facebook ads can definitely be beneficial when it comes to getting in front of who you want to be in front of.
Yeah, and frankly, for an ad spend of $5 a day to start with, boy, it just this is not necessarily an expensive thing. And the wonderful thing about the loan officers in or this whole mortgage business, Chelsea, is I always I have a phrase that I use. We don't sell pencils for a living. In other words, we don't make a nickel every time we make a sell. We make two, three, four, six, $8,000.
Yeah.
We make some serious cash. And so if I even if I I'm not going to insert any number, but if I inserted in some number of Facebook ad spend, but every time I make a sell, I make $3,000. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, that's really an unfair advantage of this career than most careers. Is our average yes pays very, very well.
Yeah.
And if we market to a real estate agent and they send us a deal a month, right? I've had agents do that for sure.
Absolutely.
A deal a month. I mean, that agent's referrals could be worth 30, 40 grand a year each. So if I got four of those agents that send me a deal a month, we're talking like 120, 130 grand before we even market to our past database. I mean, I just love it's just a wonderful industry that it allows us, the revenue is there that allows us to make some investment in our business. And I tell you something else I've learned too, Chelsea. You want to you want to bake some cakes, you got to buy flour, right? You got to buy the you want to make some shoes, you got to buy leather. Right? You got to invest in your business.
Yeah.
And this Facebook ads is a really cool thing. So, hey, so for our members that are listening, that are already members of our group, hey, go in there and just look under the section that we have on the social media marketing. Is a large section in the mortgage marketing animals. And Chelsea has a fantastic course in there that literally soup to nuts, and she updates it and does some classes with us on our social media happy hour, just part of the animal nation. If somebody wants to contact you directly, Chelsea, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so just simply by going to chelseagardner.com or finding me on any social platform at the Chelsea Gardner. I'm everywhere.
You indeed are that, my friend. So Hey, Chelsea, thanks so much. Is there anything I should ask you today that I didn't? Like, did we cover everything okay? We covered anything?
Covered everything. Yeah, I
Think
think
we
we
got
did a
it?
great job.
All right, cool. All right, my friend. I appreciate you, Chelsea.
Absolutely. Always great talking to you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks so much for listening. And any of your loan officer friends you think would benefit from this, we appreciate you forwarding it to us. And we always enjoy those 5-star reviews. I really appreciate that. It helps get the word out, and it's just a way of saying, my gift to you are these podcasts, and a nice way of saying thank you is just to leave us a nice review. We always appreciate that. So thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next episode of Loan Officer Freedom. Thanks again, everybody. Bye bye.